what are some of the techniques or systems that the CIA would use to help break you or out of that box, to stop you from being this nice guy, people pleaser, to get you so you can be really honest and real, or in this case, step into tension where you need to get a response, turn that respect?
Yeah. So one of the first things that they do is they obviously they profile our personalities, and then they tell us what that means. So you can go to any bookstore, any grocery store checkout line, and there'll be an article in some Maxim or some People magazine about your personality. But when you specifically tap into a Myers-Briggs type indicator, an MBTI personality test, and you get what is a 4-letter code coming out of the back of that, each of those four letters in that code answers a specific question about how you engage the world around you, whether it's how you engage information, how you gain energy, how you make a decision, or how you solve a problem. So it's that problem solving piece specifically that basically falls into two courts. You're either a judger or a perceiver. So anytime you face any kind of dilemma, any kind of challenge, which is essentially what all of dating is, you're facing a challenge, you will naturally kind of lean to one side or the other. The perceivers of the world are people who will try something new. They don't really believe in a process. They don't really believe in a system. They just go out there and they swing. And if the swing hits, they'll swing the same way again, or they may make a small change. The J on the opposite side, the judger, that's somebody who wants a manual. They want a book. They want a list. They believe that it's been done 100 times the same way, and I want to learn how to do it that exact right way. So what ends up happening is, for us in the field, CIA is looking for people who act like J's, but who in fact are P's, because we have blended ourselves into the world, because we have learned that there's a game that we have to play to succeed. But when you get into field operations, the way that the game works is that you have to be in control of the game board. So the first thing they need us to do is know that we can succeed within the realms of the game, and then they teach us how to play the game so that we can master it over others. And in personality terms, it's all about being either a perceiver or a judger. And the goal is to be more on the perceiver side. So that's really what they do, is they put us in touch with that side of ourselves. If you are on the judger side, that's fine, but maybe you're just not made for field operations specifically.
Interesting. I had a teacher once that said, Carl, and he had a huge impact on my life. And he said, you got to learn to, whenever you enter into a new company, a new system, a new operation, if you want to rise to the top, the first thing you got to do is play by the rules. And you got to show them you can play by the rules 100%, and then earn the right to set the rules. And then you play outside the box and you set the rules, you change everything. But if you come in there trying to change everything right away, you're gonna cause discord that's not good. You're gonna cause problems, and everybody's gonna start to judge you back, not like you, and then you're gonna create all kinds of problems. And he said that's how I would go into companies. And he goes, I would be the youngest guy in the company, and suddenly I'm in charge of everybody, and everybody be mad at me, but I played by the rules, and then they promoted me past everybody else, because then I showed I could also change the rules and make them work better after I earned that right. Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly right. Yeah. If you think about the workplace, it's a great example. A lot of the teaching I teach is to show people how to use this in the workplace. When you come in and all you do is you play your own game, your own way, and you don't care about the rules, you don't care about the local culture, you don't care about the role you stepped in on, people look at you and they call you a rogue. They call you a loose cannon. They call you terms that degrade and denigrate you and build you up to get kicked out. But once you play by the rules for long enough, and then you start pushing the boundaries, then they call you revolutionary. Then they call you transformational. Right? The same person doing the same actions is called by different words, has a whole different reputation when they understand this concept of judgment and perception, which is why one of the first things I teach people is about perception and perspective, because perception is you living in your own head. Perception is that rogue young person who rolls into a job and doesn't care about anything that's already there, just tries to do it their own way. They're living in their own world of perception. They're the center of their story. They're the star of their movie. They don't even realize there's a whole other cast out there.
I see that in youth a lot today.
You see that in youth. I feel like you also see that in the generation gap, when you look back at like Gen Xers for some reason feel like they've paid their dues and now they're free to be themselves, and they don't realize there's still a game to play, because the people in between, like you were saying, the young folks who come in, master the workplace and then run it, they don't really care that you've been at the company for 25 years. You either play by the rules or you don't.
If you like this short clip, make sure you click here to see the next clip, or here to see the full podcast episode.
Freedom! So fresh, so new.